Kurumun oluşabilmesi için bazı önemli standartlar var ki bugün burada olmanızın nedeni de bu standartlara uygun bir ulusal kurumun ülkemiz koşullarında nasıl kurulabileceğini tartışmak olacaktır. Bunları en özel şekilde şöyle ifade edebiliriz. Anayasal temel, finansal bağımsızlık, personel bağımsızlığı, atanma ve üyelik süreçlerinin bağımsızlığı, üye profilinin açıkça belirlenmiş olması, üyelerin yasal güvence altına alınmış olması ve habersiz ziyaret yetkisidir. Bugün burada Birleşmiş Milletler İşkenceye Karşı Alt Komite üyesi ve çeşitli ülkelerin Ulusal Önleme Mekanizması temsilcileri yanında kamu idaresinden gelen değerli kamu görevlileri, ülkemizde insan hakları mücadelesinde emeği geçen çok değerli sivil toplum örgütü temsilcileri ve değerli meslektaşlarım akademisyenlerle birlikte bu standartların ülkemizde nasıl hayata geçebileceğini ve ülkemiz koşullarına uygun bir ulusal önleme mekanizmasının nasıl kurulabileceğine dair fikir üretmek için bulunuyoruz. Bu çalışmanın hem kamunun hem de sivil toplumun Türkiye için etkin bir ulusal izleme mekanizmasının hayata geçmesini isteme yönündeki iradesini yansıtabilecek somut adımlara dönüşmesi temennimizdir. Bitirirken 150 yıllık mülkiyet tarihinde 1978'de Türkiye'nin ilk İnsan Hakları Merkezi olarak kurulmuş Siyasal Bilgiler Fakültesi İnsan Hakları Merkezi'nin bu çalışmaya ev sahipliği yapmasının ve İşkenceyi Önleme Derneği gibi insan hakları alanında çok önemli somut çalışmaları yapmış bir dernek ile beraber böyle bir çalıştaya imza atabilmiş olmanın mutluluğunu yaşadığımızı belirtmek isterim. İşkenceyi Önleme Derneği bu çalıştayın hazırlık sürecinde akademi, uluslararası insan hakları örgütleri arası işbirliği açısından örnek bir çalışma ortaklığı göstermiştir. Bu bağlamda çalışmanın tamamında özel emeği geçen Sayın Matthew Pringle'a teşekkür etmek isterim. Sevgili konuklar, Siyasal Bilgiler Fakültesi İnsan Hakları Merkezi, insan onuruna aykırı bir eylem olarak uluslararası camiye tarafından mutlak bir şekilde yasaklanan işkence suçunun ortadan kaldırılması yönünde yapılacak çalışmalara katkı sunmayı temel bir sorumluluk olarak algılamaktadır. Bu vesileyle bu merkezde çalışan akademisyenlere başta yardımcı doçent doktor Kerem Altıparmak olmak üzere teşekkür etmek isterim. Bu projenin tüm idari ve lojistik işlerini yürüten sevgili Eda Aslı Şaran'a da ayrıca teşekkür ederim. Değerli konuklar, hepinize verimli bir çalıştay süreci geçirebilmenizi diliyorum. Umuyorum ki birçoğumuz buradan geleceğe dair güzel umutlarla ayrılabiliriz. Hepinize saygılar sunarım.
Barbara Bernath da İşkenceyi Önleme Derneği adına açılış konuşmasını yapacak.
Merhaba. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In the name of the Association for the Prevention of Torture, I'm very honored and happy to welcome you to this workshop on instituting a national preventive mechanisms in Turkey under the optional protocol to the Convention Against Torture. I'm very happy about this high-level participation, both in quality and number, and we have here representatives from the government, from the academic and the university, as well as from the civil society. Well, this workshop is the first APT event on the optional protocol in Turkey. And it takes place here in the university in Ankara because it is co-organized with the Human Rights Center of this university. And I would like to thank warmly the university and the Faculty of Political Science, but especially the Human Rights Center for this very fruitful cooperation, and in particular Kerem Altıparmak for his very good cooperation in the preparation of this important event. I would also have to thank our donor, the European Commission, for its financial support in organizing this workshop. Before looking at the workshop and the agenda, I would just like to say a few words about the Association for the Prevention of Torture, the APT. The APT is an international non-governmental organization based in Geneva, Switzerland, and it has been created more than 30 years ago by a Geneva banker who was sensitized on the issue of torture prevention, and he had a very simple idea. In order to prevent torture and ill treatment, he was convinced that one of the most effective ways is to replace secrecy by transparency and allowing outside scrutiny by independent experts of all places of deprivation of liberty. So this simple idea became a reality at the European level with the European Committee for the Prevention of Torture, the CPT, and at the universal level with the optional protocol to the Convention Against Torture, the OPCAT. Well, the OPCAT was adopted in 2002 and entered into force in 2006, and it is now entering a new phase of implementation with the 50th ratification by Switzerland last month. And OPCAT is very different from the original idea of the founder of APT and also from the CPT, the European Committee, because it creates a system of visits to places of detention. There is not only the international subcommittee, which is represented here by Zdenek Hayek, but states also have an obligation to set up national preventive mechanisms, one or several national preventive mechanisms. And these NPM have an extensive mandate to visit all types of places where persons are deprived of liberty and also make necessary recommendations to improve the protection and the prevention of torture. And we will talk about this in detail today. But in addition, the OPCAT creates a special triangular relation, which is quite novel and unique at the international level, between the state, the international subcommittee, and the national preventive mechanisms. And the APT over the years has been actively involved in promoting the ratification, but also the implementation of the protocol in different regions in the world. And the APT plays a role of facilitators in national processes. We don't replace national actors, but we work in close cooperation with national actors, as we do here with the Human Rights Center. And this is done in order to promote open and transparent processes regarding NPM designation with all relevant actors of the society. And in countries that have already designated an NPM, then the APT is working in close collaboration with these NPM in order to strengthen their capacities. And the APT is always working in cooperation with national actors, the NPM, but also and the civil society, but also with international actors like the Subcommittee on the Prevention of Torture and sometimes the European Committee. I said at the beginning that this is the first APT workshop on OPCAT in Turkey, but it's not the first event on OPCAT in Turkey. And since the signature, there has been a series and a numbers of activities by different actors on ways of pushing forward the ratification and implementation of the optional protocol in Turkey. And last year in May, the European Commission organized an event on detention monitoring here in Ankara, which was also a way to push forward the OPCAT ratification. The present workshop is focused more on the national preventive mechanism, so really on the implementation of the optional protocol. And today we will discuss the challenges of implementation in Turkey with a presentation by the subcommittee and also by a professor of the university. But we will also have the opportunity to listen of the experience of other European countries with very different types of national preventive mechanisms from France, Czech Republic and United Kingdom. And tomorrow morning we will go a step further in implementation and we will discuss the establishment of a working group to advance the national preventive mechanism in Turkey. Well, just to close, torture prevention and the optional protocol is like a journey. And actually there is no final destination. What counts is a journey itself. And in 1989, when the CPT first met, it was really considered as a revolutionary step, like in the own words of the CPT. And Turkey was among the first countries to take this revolutionary step. And today, 20 years later, the journey towards prevention of torture has made a lot of progress. And transparency and visits to places of detention is no longer considered as a revolutionary concept. But it is rather a normal part of democratic accountability in the functioning of state system of detention. And this progress makes it possible to focus now on the implementation, how to do it, rather than on the concept, why it is needed. And I'm really looking forward to this discussion here that we will have over this 1 day and a half, And I'm sure that we will have a very fruitful exchange and debates. And I hope, I am convinced that this workshop will really bring us a step forward in this journey towards prevention of torture in Turkey. Thank you very much.
Açılış konuşmaları için Yalçın Karatepe'ye ve Barbara Bernath'a teşekkür ederiz.